Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Let's check out the instrumental section of Die with a Smile. So let me just play it for you and then I'll talk a little bit about it. So this part is really cool. Basically, it's an arrangement that I made of the chord progression with the melody. Whenever you're making arrangements, you want the melody note to be on top of whatever chord you're playing, and then you just want the bass note to be on the bottom, and the other notes that are in the triad. So what we have here is we have a couple of really cool chords. We're going to take this just one bar at a time, very slowly, and then we're going to go into the practice video. So to start with, we have this bar, and we are going to play a B minor 9 chord. So it looks like this. It's very similar to your B minor 7, except now instead of this D note being right here, we're going to move it down to a C sharp note right there, which is the second in that chord, and up an octave, it's the 9th. So it's just like this, but we take the ring finger and move it over here. Now looking at the tab, what we do is we want to take these three fingers that we typically finger pick with, and instead of putting them on this string set, we want to take these fingers and move them up a string set like this. So then we're going to pluck the chord, and then do the bass, and do a boom chuck like that. So just try that one part with me. We're going to be doing this. Try this. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. Now let's add in the other bass note. So like this. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and join me. 1, 2, and 3. 1, thumb, treble, thumb. 1, boom, chuck, boom. 1, boom, chuck, boom. And now let's add this right here. So now we have boom, boom, chuck, boom, 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 chuck. Go ahead and join me. And 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. One more time. And 1, 2, and 3, 4. And so that's where we're headed now. So after we play this section, we're going to take our pinky and we're going to put it on the 3rd fret of the B string. And that's where we're headed to. But you could also, I guess, try. But the reason why I don't do that is because it's kind of hard for me to keep these other fingers held down as I'm sliding this ring finger up. And so what happens is I'll do this. And it makes me have to lift off of the chord a little bit earlier than I want to. I like having things in arrangements be nice and as legato as possible. So it'll sound like this. And then I can switch to that chord there. So let's just try practicing this part very slowly, like this. Go ahead and join me. Two more times. Last time. And now you're going to keep your ring finger right where it's at. And then your middle finger is going to go up a string. And then that first finger is going to go to that 1st fret of the G string. And now we can finally let go of that B minor 9. And now we have what essentially is our A major 7. However, we don't want to play the A because the chord that we're trying to play is an E. So instead what we're going to do is instead of playing the A, we're going to be on the kind of the pad of our middle finger, but you can also kind of just like move your middle finger up a little bit so that way it's touching the A string. So that way you can make sure that that A string doesn't ring out because that would change what this chord is. It wouldn't have a dominant feel anymore. It'd have more of a tonic feel to it. So after, when we have that open string, that's a great time to switch over to this, or it can be like that. I need to work on my finger staying right there. So then we have, so it's the same riff, except now it's on this chord instead, which I think is easier. So let's just try this very slowly, like this. 2 and 3, 4, here we go, and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, one more time. And then here is the hardest part. And I'm still working on this part myself, but there's a couple different ways that we can do it. So we have a C sharp minor chord here. And what you could do is, I mean, honestly, if you just want to grab the C sharp minor bar chord, you could totally do that. But what you could do is lift off the pinky finger right there and then use the bar to play the 4th fret there. And this way may actually be a lot easier than the way that I was trying to play it earlier. So if it works, it works. So what I was doing earlier was, and then this chord right here. So essentially what it is you take the that B minor 7 shape that you had earlier, except you put the pinky here, and then your ring finger is going to fill in where that 5th is in the chord right there. And then you take this shape and you slide it up 2 frets. It's quite a jump though, so it might be easier just to grab this minor 7 bar chord. But if you didn't want to play your bar chord, then you can do that. Or what you can do is, it doesn't sound as good, but in my opinion, but what you can do is you can just take off this pinky entirely and let it be an open B string, because that's the note that you're playing right here anyway, is the 4th fret on the G string, which is a B. So now it sounds like this. Sorry. You don't want to play that open D string. So to me, it sounds kind of hollow and resonant sounding, but I mean, it'll work though, because we've got the melody note up here and we have the C sharp bass right there. And then we switch over to the F sharp minor. So let's just I mean, that's going to be the toughest part, is practicing from here to here. So we'll do that in the practice video, but the boom chuck pattern for it goes like this. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this chord right here is 1st finger 4th fret on the A, middle finger 4th fret on the G, and then ring finger 4th fret on the high E. So let's practice it together. Here we go. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then for the very last chord, it's an F sharp minor chord. Our melody note is on this F sharp, and our bass is the F sharp. So there's a lot of parentheses and stuff like that. Honestly, I think the easiest way to play this is to just take your finger and bar across all 6 strings. Because then you get the bass note, and you get the melody note, and you get the other notes that are in the triad. But what's really cool about this part also is that if you didn't know, when you bar with just the 1st finger, you don't have to do just the 1st finger, because we're not playing the A and the D string here. So you can take your middle finger and you can kind of press your middle finger on top of your pointer finger like this, and kind of lean your hand more this way, or put the weight more that way, I should say. So you can grab this. And we're not holding this bar chord forever, although you did potentially just play one here. But as soon as you play that, then we have the bass line. that we've been playing earlier. So, and when you're finger picking, bass lines are a lot easier to play because you don't have to worry about the strings necessarily ringing out as long as your finger is playing the correct string where it's supposed to. So we have. So let's just try this bar very slowly together. So that is 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and join me here. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. One more time. And 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. The other notes, when I played it this way, I would go to this version of the F sharp minor. And then if you wanted the bass note, you can also play this version of the F sharp minor, but I'm not really going to go over that because I think this way is probably the most efficient way to be able to play it. So anyway, the other reason why I call this the bossa nova part is because when I was studying jazz, I would study bossa novas like blue bossa as an example. And this finger picking boom chuck pattern kind of reminds me of the different bossa novas that I learned when I was learning jazz. So that's why I'm calling it the bossa nova part. But anyway, so this is the instrumental for Die with a Smile, and I'll see you in the practice video.